Like standing in the intersection loudly talking to himself crazy. Yesterday, Trump held a doozy of a press conference with the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, where he surprised everyone, including the people who work for him, I think. But President Trump, he finally turned the sprinklers on and we're enjoying. We have a very crazy person running our country right now. Like by unveiling this plan for Gaza, which is to relocate everyone who lives there permanently. He would remove the almost 2 million Palestinians who live there and build a really cool real estate development that we would own.
Ever wonder what happens when a late-night comedian goes toe-to-toe with a former president? Well, buckle up, because Jimmy Kimmel just took Trump to the cleaners on live TV, and it's a doozy. From zingers about Trump's hair to jabs at his Twitter addiction, Kimmel unleashed a comedy barrage that left the Donald seeing red. But that's not all. Stick around to see how our neighbors up north reacted to this epic roast fest.
And of course, the big question, one of the big questions besides, are you out of your damn mind, is if you pull all the Palestinians out of Palestine, who would then live there? And I guess sell to others? This is really what he wants to do. It's like our country's being run by the maniac from Saw. You know, Donald Jigsaw Trump is running this.
I envision a world, people living there, the world's people.
The world's people. Maybe the village people, I don't know.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Alright folks, buckle up, because Jimmy Kimmel just took Trump to the comedy woodshed, and it was a sight to behold.
Everything, no matter what the crisis may be, everything always comes back to real estate with him.
We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal.
You can see he's really thought this through. Every idea is worse than the last idea. He seems to believe that the reason there's conflict in Gaza is because no one thought to give them a pickleball.
And I don't want to be cute, I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad, this could be so magnificent.
I can see the brochures now.
Remember when Trump bragged he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue? Well, Kimmel just verbally shot Trump on national TV, and the crowd went wild. Now, Kimmel's been poking fun at Trump for years, but this time he went all out. It's like he ate a bowl of zingers for breakfast and washed it down with a gallon of sass. Trump's known for his thin skin, about as thin as his infamous comb-over, so everyone was on the edge of their seats wondering how he'd handle Kimmel's sharpest jabs yet. Kimmel didn't hold back, folks. He called Trump everything from Grumpy Trumpy to Donnie Diapers. But that was just the warm-up act. He hit Trump where it hurts, his ego and his hair. Kimmel quipped, "Trump's hair is so bad, even his scalp is trying to impeach it." The audience lost it, laughing so hard you'd think they were at a comedy club instead of a late-night show. But Kimmel wasn't done. He kept the punches rolling, saying, "Trump's skin is so orange."
Plan to develop and repopulate Gaza, it's never gonna happen. The leaders of Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Jordan, Turkey, France, Germany, Spain, the UK have all forcefully rejected it. The Riviera of the Middle East. Trump didn't even have success with the Atlantic City of New Jersey, never mind the Riviera of the Middle East. We could make it the Vegas of Somalia and everyone will love it. The only thing the United Nations and the Taliban have in common is they both think this is a terrible idea. But
Tropicana wants to sue for copyright infringement. As the audience roared, you could almost hear Trump's tweets being furiously typed from Mar-a-Lago. I bet his tiny fingers were working overtime. Kimmel's roast was so savage, even Trump's spray tan couldn't hide his red face. It was like watching a verbal boxing match, with Kimmel landing one haymaker after another. He even took a jab at Trump's diet, suggesting that maybe if he ate more vegetables, he'd be less of a bad boy.
And this is good. Look at the reaction from his chief of staff, Susie Wiles, who is usually so unflappable. Trump calls her the Ice Maiden. That's his nickname. Now what you're seeing is, that is the face of a woman who said he spoke to the leaders and everybody loves it. All this was apparently news to Trump's new Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. I guess isn't in the loop because he reportedly first learned about it when Trump announced it on TV. Speaker of the House and human squirrel Mike Johnson said Trump's little project in Gaza is, quote, a bold move, and Majority Whip Tom Emmer used it to make the claim that Democrats are anti-Semitic.
I guess that's one way to make America great again. But wait, there's more. Trump's reaction is coming up, and it's a doozy. Let's just say it involves a lot of all-caps tweets and probably a few cheeseburgers stress-eaten in the wee hours of the morning. Trump's Twitter fingers were itching for a fight after Kimmel's roast, and boy did he deliver. The former president unleashed a late-night tweet storm that made his usual online tantrums look like a light drizzle. It was like watching a toddler have a meltdown in the candy aisle, but instead of Skittles, Trump was demanding respect and better ratings. The Orange in Chief started his digital rampage by calling Kimmel unfunny and failing. Really, Donald? That's the best you could come up with. It's like he rated a middle school insult book and decided to go with the classics. But Trump wasn't done yet. Oh no, he was just warming up his thumbs for the main event. Next, Trump dragged Kimmel's ratings into the mix because apparently, in Trump's world, TV ratings are the ultimate measure of a person's worth. He tweeted, "Jimmy Kimmel is a loser whose ratings are so low, you need a microscope to see them." Funny how Trump always seems to have TV ratings at his fingertips. Does he have a Nielsen box hidden in his golf bag? As Trump's tweet count grew faster than his legal troubles, his loyal supporters rallied around him like seagulls fighting over a discarded French fry. They retweeted, they liked, they probably even printed out his tweets and framed them. Meanwhile, Trump's critics were having a field day. It was like Christmas came early for the anti-Trump crowd, and Santa brought them a big bag of Twitter gold. But here's the kicker, Trump's meltdown only proved Kimmel's point about his paper-thin skin. It's like Kimmel poked a bear, and instead of a fierce roar, he got a whiny growl. Trump's reaction was so predictable, you could set your watch by it. Insult Trump on TV, wait a few hours, and boom, a tweet storm of epic proportions. As the night wore on, Trump's tweets got more and more unhinged. He started comparing himself to great historical figures because of course he did. Lincoln, amateur. I'm the greatest president in history, maybe ever. Yeah, Donnie, I'm sure Honest Abe is quaking in his grave right now. Well, folks, it looks like the battle of wits between Jimmy Kimmel and Trump has come to a close, and our late-night hero has emerged victorious. Who knew that a few well-timed jokes could ruffle the feathers of the self-proclaimed greatest president in history? It just goes to show that even the most powerful figures aren't immune to a good old-fashioned roasting. But let's be real here. Shouldn't a guy who spent his whole life in the spotlight have developed a thicker skin by now? Maybe Trump needs to take a page out of the comedy playbook and learn to laugh at himself a little. After all, if you can't beat him, join him in the giggle fest, right? As for the rest of us, we can all take a lesson from this comedic showdown. Sometimes the best way to deal with the absurdities of politics is to find the humor in it all. So next time you're feeling down about the state of affairs, just remember, there's always a punchline waiting to be discovered.